What's up, everyone? I'm Jack Fossett, and today we're checking out the El Hombre Overdrive pedal from Rockett. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning into this review of this Overdrive pedal from Rockett Audio. This is a really cool Overdrive pedal. They talk about it as being inspired by the bearded one. This is a Billy Gibbons inspired pedal, but what I really like about it is that it's sort of in the spirit of, it's not like it's a direct clone of something, or it's not like it's going for a very specific sound of his. It's kind of just like a basic tone inspired by him that's also very tweakable. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons I like that is because sometimes when you get pedals that are inspired by a certain artist, you might think it's cool, and it might even be an artist that you love, but you might also say like, yeah, I mean, I like that, but I don't necessarily want to sound like that artist all the time. So I like that this one is just kind of an inspired by thing, and there's a lot you can do with it that's way outside the realm of his sound. Now, this has three basic controls, right? You've got your volume, you've got your gain, you've got your bite, and they work as you might expect, but what's cool about it is that it actually can be very much a tone sculptor, as much as it sort of changes its character a little bit depending on how you dial it in. One notable thing is the gain definitely opens up and really comes alive with the drive knob probably somewhere, I want to say, between 2 and 3 o'clock when you're kind of turning it up. And hopefully you'll notice in the video when I do more of a comprehensive rundown coming up here, that right as you're kind of turning it up, there is like a little bit of a notch where all of a sudden it picks up. Before that, it's very smooth and bluesy. After that, it's much more thick and raucous and gets into some kind of like cool amp-like stuff. You turn the bite up, you get a really nice clarity without getting too shrill, and it adds a great edge, almost kind of a Marshall-esque sort of sound. When you roll it back, now I'm not going to roll it back too much in this video because I'm plugging into a Super Royal Reverb, which is a very warm and slightly darker amp, but with it back, it gets a softer top end that kind of reminds me of like, I don't want to say a small tube amp, like a 5-watt tube amp, but something in the like 10 to 25 watt range that sort of compresses early and has a clear but warm, sort of a silkier top end, I want to say. So there's a lot of variance, right, just in those two knobs, really, and then obviously you get the volume to wherever it suits the taste. I don't know that I would use this pedal as just a clean boost because it has so much of its own character. I don't think that's necessarily where this pedal shines. I think this pedal really shines with the various levels of drive. And again, once you kind of get the gain engaged a bit more. Now, I mean, it sounds fine as a clean boost, and it could actually even roll off a little bit of top end off of your sound if you're in a particularly bright amp. But again, I think this is one of those pedals that you're really going to want it for the drive. Now, before we jump back in, I do want to say thank you to J Rockett. I had never worked with J Rockett before. I actually have the Dude pedal, which is one of my favorite overdrives. It's one that I use all the time. I've used it in live recordings and all kinds of stuff. It's just a mainstay on my pedal board, a great pedal. And I reached out to them because I really wanted to try this one and a couple other ones, and they were kind enough to send this one over for me to review. So this is my first sponsored review with them, which I'm really excited about. So right now what I want to do is jump back in with the Telecaster, and we're going to do a full playthrough on a bunch of different settings with this. So let's check that out. So you can hear there's a pretty good wide range, again, that this can do, and it suits single coils or humbuckers particularly well. So what I want to do now is I'm going to jump back in with a Gibson SG, and we're, again, playing into a Supro Royal Reverb, and you'll hopefully hear between the two guitars that there's a pretty wide range that this can cover. Kind of has its own character, but it adjusts well depending on what kind of guitar you're playing. All right, everyone, that is the El Hombre from J Rockett Audio. Please let us know in the comments what you think. I'm also going to link below to where you can buy that. That's an affiliate link. Hey, do your shopping through that link. Helps me out and gets you some cool gear, no extra cost to you. I love it. I think it's really cool. I want to get this one on a board right away. I love the styling. It's just, screams Mojo, and it's got all the classic vibe. And again, it's that nice kind of tip of the hat to Billy Gibbons without necessarily being just like a, one-trick pony or anything like that. I mean, honestly, like, you could nail some Santana sounds with this if you dialed it in certain ways. You could just get a basic, straightforward, really natural, overdriven sound. There's all kinds of things you can do with this pedal, pairing it up with different guitars and amplifiers. So again, let us know what you think. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.